Hello everyone, Hamas28 here, and welcome back to Clayblock. So, as we left off last episode, I did a little mining between episodes and got us 40 diamonds. It actually wasn't that difficult. I found that caving is better than just vein mining, mostly because when you're caving, it's a lot easier to find the 4x, 5x, and 6x compressed clay to make the diamonds, which made it go really fast, especially when you're down underneath, pretty deep. This mod pack has massive cave generation, so you should always be caving for resources. It was the quickest way. And there's also these mousy mobs called grottles that when you kill them with a pickaxe, they drop a diamond as well, which made collection a lot easier. So we can go ahead and craft all of our diamond gear, boots, and then our helmet. And then go ahead and make ourselves a diamond sword. And now we should be ready to go off into the Nether. And I don't think we need this stuff anymore, right? And we could just turn it into nuggets later. So let me put away this stuff. And now let me grab a couple of these shulker boxes. I want to take back some lava. So let me take out the bucket. And we should be good. And it seems like you can actually equip this on your backpack like that, which is pretty nice. I wonder, is there? I wanted to see if there was a way to access the shulker box like a backpack, but I don't think there is. And there's no backpacks in this mod either. Anyways though, by going to the Nether, and now it's raining, nice, that should be how we're going to get access to modern industrialization, I believe. Hammer forge, because I'm guessing blocks of basalted, those are items found in the Nether, so if I had to guess, the dead coral blocks are also going to be found in the Nether as well, along with the crystamugrified clay, but it's hard to say. So let's go ahead and take some torches with us, so we can actually find our way home. And you know what else I think we need? We should also take some clay blocks as well, so we can actually build some stuff while we're in there. Compressed clay, there we go. And that should be good enough. Although I'm not sure what to expect in the Nether in this pack, but if we have Mousy's mobs, there's probably going to be something really annoying in here. Okay, that took a really long time. And now it looks like the Nether definitely has some interesting generation. What is that? We're already being accosted by enemies, and a lot of them by the looks of it. Bluffs. So I was right on making the diamond armor. Why are there so many of them? What the? Okay, let me see if I can... Okay, nope, they're literally everywhere. See if we can... And funny enough, it does look like their attacks are tile entities which render on the minimap, so that should make avoiding them a lot easier. Now there is a lot of granite in here, which I believe we need, along with packed mud. Interesting. That might be needed for something, but we do need the granite. And I think we also need the frog lights. What do we need packed mud for? Uh-oh. I'm hearing them. I wonder what makes them spawn. Is it just low light level? Because if I could just place a lot of torches to stop their spawns, that would be really useful. See, a single one is pretty easy, because they attack very slow. It's just the other ones that are really annoying. Okay, let me see. Cave vine plant. I'm also not seeing any lava in here. Let's see, lava. Yeah, I'm not seeing lava. Terracotta grotto, but it does look like there's different biomes in here. Packed mud can be used to make mud bricks. Mud bricks are just used for crafting other stuff. Granite does have uses, so we need granite to make soul sand. We also use it to make nether quartz. But then where do I get the basalted stuff then? I could have sworn we would have found it in here. Smooth basalt. Basalt. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's craftable. Interesting. Compressed terracotta. Lots of granite and red sand. And it sounds like there's something underneath here. And there come the bluffs. Nice. What about the ochre froglight? I think we need this for something. You blow these up to get blaze powder. Gotcha. Oh, there's the lava. It's just all the way down there. Perfect. I need a bucket of lava. So let's see if we can use our excavators. Oh, this is terracotta. Oh, that's going to take forever to dig through. Double compressed. Mangrove roots. Do I use this for anything? Use it to make muddy mangrove roots. You can use it to make sticks. That's a very odd craft. What about muddy mangrove roots? Nothing. Okay. And some more of these. Well, I need to get down to the bottom so we can get access to the lava, and I just need one. But this is going to be very annoying, especially with all these guys. Now it does look like the Nether has its own structures. With blazes inside? Well, there's the blackstone walls. Why do I hear a guy, though? 5x compressed terracotta. Let's take a look on the inside. Okay, so there's a villager in here. And a blaze. Is there a spawner? Doesn't look like a spawner. Just a villager and a blaze. See, all the lava's down here. Luckily, I'm not seeing any more bluffs spawn, which is nice. But I wonder how I can get the villager out of there. And I think... What is this black stuff? Gray concrete powder. Which is what? Oh, we use that to make gunpowder. Interesting. And there we go, the perfect source. Yoink. Hot stuff. Did I not bring my shulker box with me? I thought I brought it with me. Okay, that's annoying. Brown mushroom block for mushrooms. What do I use mushrooms for? Mushroom stew, fermented spider eye. Okay, nothing in particular. It's just a pretty easy way to get a bunch of mushrooms for food. Not complaining about that. Let's see, so if there's villagers, that might be the only way to get villagers in this pack is from the Nether. I wonder, is there a way to pick them up? Villager deed box. I'm not sure what this is. There is a blaze here that I'm gonna have to slay real quick. To get a... Nope, no blaze rods, that's sad. Glazed terracotta. Blackstone walls. Can I use these to do nothing? Okay, nice. Thank you. What are those? I don't like the look of it. I'm a little scared. This whole place gives me the heebie-jeebies. Okay, are they hostile though? What are you? Umvathana. Interesting. Well, they're not attacking me yet. And the villager is missing, which is annoying. What was that? Might have been a bluff, actually. Oh, there's the villager. Let's see. There must be a way to get villagers easily handled, right? Huh, where's he going? Oh, okay, that is definitely a bluff. And he's being hostile. Nice. Okay, now they're being hostile. The Nether, it's a silly place. Let's leave. And the bluffs are attacking. Okay, let's see if we can quickly get out of here. And there's a lot of bluffs. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, thank goodness. And one of them followed me out. 2 of them followed me out. Nice. That's so weird. Now I only... I'm so dumb. I put it on my back. Silly me. But okay, we have access to the Nether. And so the Nether gets us granite, mushroom, amongst other stuff. Now, we have a bucket of lava, which means I can make infinite lava, which is nice. But how are we supposed to progress from here? Because we're still missing coral blocks. We're still missing forge hammer. Let me see, forge hammer. Block of basalted and block of curium. Curium ingot. Drops from a clay mage, whatever that is. End city, smelting. Curium dust, blasting. Interesting stuff. Craft a forge hammer. And there's not much else there. Interesting stuff. So I'm not quite sure where to get the rest of it. Unless maybe there's more to the world generation that I haven't checked out yet. It could be something as simple as that. The 20x compressed perfect terracotta. Interesting. I think I'm going to jump into Creative World and explore the map and see if I'm actually just missing something, or if I do have to just venture out more into the Nether. Because so far, I'm not sure how we use that to progress. Unless maybe we have to just go straight to the end. Alright, so I waited for it to stop raining so you could hear me speak. And I jumped into Creative to see what the progression looks like. Because I thought we were going to be engaging in industrial... What is it called? I forgot. I can't speak. What is it called? Modern industrialization. I thought it was going to come sooner, but it looks like it's actually gated behind the end. But you might be thinking, wait, well, how do you get to the end? Well, first of all, we're going to be making a hook, so I'm going to save these. What's the difference between this? Oh, interesting. Create a flight within the volume defined by the hooks. Interesting. I might want to get that one. What does this one do? Cool stuff. Anyways, we can actually craft end portal frames to get to the end. Now you can see they do look pretty expensive, but they're actually not too bad, because a single portal frame, and of course we're going to need 3, 6, 9, 12 of these, only take 1 Eye of Ender each, skulk block, 7x compressed terracotta, and blocks of quartz. Which is all stuff we can technically obtain at this point. As you can see, granite makes nether quartz. We can also make a blast furnace, technically. So it's technically doable at this point, along with making the RF Tools builder, which can be used for automatically quarrying a large area, which means we don't have to manually collect all the clay ourselves. I think that's the level of automation we're going to have to get at. Now, first things first though, one thing I did find in my creative exploration was nether brick. This stuff, red nether bricks, can be found in the nether, in structures, which is how we're going to get nether bricks. And we need nether bricks for crafting quite a lot of items. Like if we want to make blast furnaces, we're going to need those, and blast furnaces do have certain recipes locked behind them. For example, you can turn obsidian back into crying obsidian. I'm not quite sure why you would want to do that, but I mean, we can do that. Unless... No, water sources are infinite in this pack, so I don't see why we would need to do that. But you can see some of the other stuff, like turning compressed clay into diamond ore, is locked behind the blast furnace, along with some other stuff here. There we go, blackstone. Blackstone is made from 2x compressed terracotta. When we eventually get to the basalted ingots, that's locked behind it. What is a captured grotto? How do you capture them? I've only been killing them. But it does seem like most of the other stuff from modern industrialization is locked behind here. Oh, that's one. So for RF tools, we will need dimensional shards, which can only be obtained by, you guessed it, the blast furnace. So we are going to need those nether bricks, and then to make magma blocks, we are going to need to slay some more blazes, but we can also get it from blowing up the ochre frog lights. Now, first things first, we're going to make ourselves a smart crafting table. I think we can do that. Yes, we can. We just need to make... Oh, I've been using all of our clay for other stuff, and I turned all of our clay into diamonds. So we're actually really low on clay. Well, I'm gonna have to go get some more, but it should be pretty easy. I'll just have to decimate the countryside real quick. So now we just have to convert the clay balls into planks, like so. Double compressed into here, do that, make some more planks. Let's see, convert this stuff. So convert you into 1x, and then use that to make more planks. Then use this to make 6 crafting tables. Then we just need 2 sticks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to make a smart crafting table. Put them right here. Now using this, it's reaching into the chests and figuring out what we could craft. So now, if I type hook, it doesn't know how to craft a hook. Oh, because there's not enough wood in there, that's why. That's annoying. Well, that's why I got more of these clay blocks. Go ahead and convert you back into that. Convert you into this. Now convert you into planks. And now, if I type hook, yeah, there's still not enough. Okay, I'm going to have to get a lot more clay. I'll be back in a second. Okay, so now theoretically, I should be able to do it. So to make a wooden hook, we're going to need wooden chains, which is mostly sticks. So if I type stick, we can craft sticks. Now if I type wooden, we can make wooden chain. Now we just need more sticks and a wooden pickaxe. Wooden pickaxe. Now if I type hook, can it do it? No, I think we need more sticks. Sticks. There we go. So now if I type hook, we can craft the hook. It's pretty convenient. It's not as convenient as a full digitized setup, but it still has its usage. And the hook is quite nice. So we put it into our trinket slot here. And as you can see, all you have to do to use it is look at something and hit C. And the wooden one will slowly pull us over here. Then you just hit space to disconnect it, to retract all the hooks, and you're good to go. But it's really not that great, so we're going to upgrade it to the iron version, and we just need a chain, iron pickaxe, and iron. So we should be able to type chain. How do I craft a... Actually, I think an iron chain takes nuggets, right? It does. Nuggets. So now we can type chain. Then we need a pickaxe, which will take some sticks. Now we make an iron pickaxe. Oh, there we go, iron hook. Bam. And this one's nice. If you play Terraria, you're well aware about floating in place. So now you can do this. And if you do a second one, you float in between them. You do have very limited movement, as you can see, but it's not really viable. Then if I just jump, we get rid of those. And from there, we can upgrade it into the diamond hook or the redstone hook. And the redstone hook does look pretty nice. You get creative flight within the volume defined by the hook, which makes building a lot easier, but the diamond hook gives you just a lot more hooks, so you can really fly around the area. Of course, at this point, it's easier to get diamond than redstone, but we'll have to work on that. So now that we have a way to traverse a lot easier, I'm going to need a, what is it called? Only hammers and excavators. So if I come in here and type hammer, I can make an iron hammer. Should make it easier to dig in the nether. And we should be able to harvest some of that nether brick without too much trouble now. I'm going to have to figure out how to get... oh, that's annoying. Yeah, they shouldn't be able to hit us now, which is very nice. See, now this is a lot easier. Now, and I believe it's over here, you can see the red. We're going to have to make our way over here and see if we can get ourselves the red nether brick, which is over in that direction. And we should be able to just basically sling our way all the way over there. And this is the complete wrong way. Yup, as expected, hook shots make traveling so much easier. It was mostly annoying though, because I had to dig a tunnel over here, connecting our cave system to this cave system, so I could actually access these red nether brick spires. But now that I'm here, it's a lot easier. Now, I'm pretty sure these guys will just fly over here though, and try to fight me, which is really annoying. Luckily though, we could just start harvesting this red nether brick. But I don't think it's renewable though. Yeah, see, they're already coming over here. It's so annoying. But now that we have it, we just have to start blowing it up in order to make the nether bricks. Now, I do notice that there is a 30%... you can get double the output if we blow up stuff in the nether. But I'm not quite sure how useful that's going to be though, because if we have to keep dealing with all these mobs, it's going to be really annoying regardless. Well, I can't really say I'm going to miss the nether, but I hope I don't have to come back anytime soon. This place really sucks. And you know, now that I think about it, we don't really have ways to get infinite resources. Well, actually, if everything is made from clay, and then we could just eventually make clay from... make terracotta from clay, then I guess eventually we will have infinite resources at some point. But some of this stuff is made directly from, like, other materials, you know? Like, for example, ochre frog lights can be used to make blaze powder. Blaze powder comes from just that, and blaze rods. Bluff rod and blaze powder makes blaze rod. Well, technically, to beat the pack, you just have to make the ultimate clay block. Do you guys mind? I'm trying to monologue. We do just have to make the ultimate clay block, which means having infinite of everything else doesn't really matter, as long as we can just produce tons of clay, which is probably just going to happen because we're going to be mining a lot. You know what I mean? And home sweet home. I swear. I'm going to have to set up a base in the nether so we can do the nether explosion stuff. But so far, I think we're doing okay. We're just going to have to figure out how to progress from here. Now, eventually, we do want to get access to the end, but that in itself is going to be a pretty big challenge. End frame, because what are we missing? So we can make quartz from granite, and we have access to granite pretty easily. So that's not an issue. We can make compressed terracotta by either smelting the clay we have, or going into the nether and mining the compressed terracotta, which isn't that difficult. It would be a lot cheaper. Skulk, though, is going to be harder, as skulk only comes from blowing up black terracotta to make echo shards. Now, it does seem like everything we're gated behind right now is explosions. As you can see, there's 6 pages of block explosions for all the colored terracotta. And let's see, so there's no glowstone in the nether, as you could tell, so if we want glowstone dust, we have to blow up yellow terracotta. Is there anything specifically we need? So brown mushrooms we don't really care about, because we can get brown mushrooms from the nether pretty easily. If we want leather, that's brown terracotta. Snowballs are white. Gunpowder is from gray concrete powder, which is very abundant in the nether. Amethyst shards, lapis, echo shards, prismarine, nether shards, and slime balls. So if we want to make end portal frames, we also need these. That means the biggest bottleneck here is going to be echo shards and black terracotta. Black terracotta. That's concrete. Where's black terracotta? Black terracotta is just terracotta with black dye. So we can easily amass a ton of black terracotta pretty easily. And the black dye comes from ink sacs, which we don't have access to. That's expensive. A whole block of coal just to make black dye. That's crazy. We could also smash obsidian with an anvil. I'm not quite sure what this means. Consume block. Okay, so I'm pretty sure what this means is if we take an anvil, which I think I crafted, right? Crying obsidian. Oh, I didn't make it. Wait, I thought I made an anvil. I guess not. So if I make an anvil, make a block of iron, now I should be able to make an anvil. What should happen is if I put this guy right here and move this clay, I should be able to do... Okay, that's my own fault. Oh, all my ducks came with me. How nice. Oh, what is this? Soul shape. Oh! Interesting. I'm a ghost. Whoa, whoa. Okay, let's go find our body. Okay, I should have assumed it was gonna explode since it did say TNT. Which means I don't actually need TNT. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? I hope so, because I think I figured out how we can set this up. Now we are going to need, if we want to be efficient about it, we're going to have to set this up in the Nether, but I think I'll set it up in the overworld first, just to test the proof of concept. And then if it works, we'll build it in the Nether. Now here's our base, everything blew up. But as you could see, it did drop all of the items. Nice. And the anvil is technically intact. Let's see, how do I return myself to my corporeal form? Do I just right click with this? Interesting. Aw, he's swimming! How cute. Oh, and there's the rest of it. There's the black dye and the red dye. Ouch. Okay, I'm gonna have all the ducks come sit down again. Everyone come here, please. Sit. 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 Is that all of them? Nope, you sit. Okay, I think that's all of them. Okay. So, here's what I have in mind. So let me take the anvil. We just need... So, this guy... what's a blast resistant block? Because can be placed down with dispensers. Interesting. I don't think I need to do that though. Well, actually, if you can place it down with a dispenser, how much redstone does that need? Just one and string. String comes from blowing up black terracotta. Okay, so here's what I was thinking. So let me put this stuff away. Compressed terracotta. Let me grab like the lime terracotta and the cyan terracotta for this proof of concept. And I'll need you. And then I'll need the crying obsidian. So because it explodes... Oh, dang it. I thought you were one of my scrimblows. Go away. Okay, I definitely need to actually build a base for this. And I'll use the red nether brick for now. So what I'm thinking is we build a base like this. We place our crying obsidian, and then we place like what we want to blow up around it. Now then, we do this. And then I'll need, oh, that's why a dispenser would be useful. Redstone comes from red terracotta. I think we have some red terracotta. Red, just have one? Well, we have red dye, and we have compressed terracotta, which means I could just make more. Do this, do that. Perfect. So let me place this here. Now, I was standing right next to it when it went off. But, if I stand, say, over here... Actually, I don't have to make it that dangerous. Just come out over here. Like this. Okay. So now, that should give me enough leeway. And, okay, so it didn't actually damage the terracotta, which is interesting. Wait, it did. It did damage the terracotta. See, this is why we test stuff. So what we need to do is move all of this. Place you here. Lime terracotta. And looks like one of the ducks is trying to bother me. Is we place a ring of terracotta, like so. The explosion emanates from above the crying obsidian. As you can see, we're missing these blocks here. So, we should be able to actually fill up this entire space right here. And do I have any other colored stuff? This doesn't blow up, right? It does. So if we fill in this entire space, and then place it, well, would you look at that. Red dye, nether bricks, slime balls, white dye, and it works. So it looks like the range is actually quite big when you think about it. I wonder. Now I'm questioning how big this range is totally. So it should take out this entire layer. It's going to take out this entire layer as well. And it will take out this entire layer. And it also took out this, but not this one. But what I'm thinking is, if I place a block here and build like an outer ring, will this outer ring be damaged? So let's find out. And it doesn't look like it. So it looks like the entire blast is going to be contained in a 3x3x3 cube above the crying obsidian. Which is very handy. Now what this means is... Oh, I left some. What this means... I didn't leave anything else, right? Perfect. Is we need to essentially build an explosion chamber to convert our blocks into the broken form. And it needs to be renewable. And the way we can do that is crying obsidian can be made by blasting regular obsidian back into crying obsidian. And we can make obsidian with lava and water. And normally, lava is not renewable. But because we have cauldrons, we can make renewable lava. Now, this mod pack does include item pipes, which means, do they have fluid pipes? They do have fluid pipes, which means we can set up an array of cauldrons with lava dripping on top of them to infinitely produce lava, have that lava then get mixed with water to make obsidian. We then gather the obsidian and blast it into crying obsidian, and then place it down. I think there's a block placer, right? Let's see. Placer. Shape card placing liquids. We don't need to, I forgot. We can place anvils with dispensers. Oh, but we can't place the crying obsidian though with a dispenser. So I'm not sure how we could get around that. Decisions. Interesting. But this does unlock a whole slew of avenues we can go towards. But after all that testing, I think this episode has gone on quite long enough. In between episodes, I'm definitely going to have to fix up her base to stop the geese invasion, and fortify the nether so we can set up our terracotta what's the name? Terracotta Explosion Factory. That would be the name of it. And setting it up in the nether so all of those bluffs don't keep harassing us while we're in there, so we can actually process all the colored terracotta. But as always, I'm your host, Hamas28, and I'll see you guys next time.